Damn. So for the second time in the world, the man has removed the Indian from his own land. Now, is this a Mandela effect or am I tripping? Was there or was there not always an Indian on Land O'Lakes? Remember sitting right there, right in that circle? That damn colonizers did it again. Took them off their own land.
Why do bats look like dogs now? I've shifted timelines. This is a bat. Bats we fear in my timeline. New timeline. It is a cute looking dog. Someone explain this to me, people.
Huge Mandela effect. Didn't he used to have brown features to him, not black? And then what the hell does a newspaper have to do with added ingredients?
Savannah, you seen this? Your nigga was Twitter fingering and then seen the gangster and then act like he ain't see him. They ask, yo, LeBron, why you ain't down for the loose ball? Where the ball go? I didn't see it. Nigga, you know damn well it went over by Kevin Gates. Man, go get the ball. Luka, go get it. Look, niggas smiling, just looking at these niggas, staring the nigga down.
Is he staring LeBron down, or is he staring at him like, "Ooh, you looking sexy, LeBron"? Why your jeans so tight?
God, yo, I've never seen Kevin Gates with this much jewelry.
Apple might be the most satanic company, and let me tell you why. The first Mac, you know, the iMac, do you know how much it sold for? $666. That's 666. That's what it cost. You think that's just a fun number? No. Steve Jobs was exact with numbers. He picked that on purpose. Now look at the logo, a bitten apple. That's not just some design choice, that's the Bible, the fall of man. The moment sin entered the world, that's the symbol they went with. And then there's Siri. Say it backwards. Iris. What's your iris? Your eye. And what's the biggest symbol used in secret groups like the Illuminati? The one eye. Over and over again, same message. Now think, iPhone, that's not just internet phone, that's iPhone, EYE. The eye is watching, always. So, let's put it together. You've got the number 666, you've got the apple with a bite, you've got the eye, the one eye, the iris, the iPhone, all connected. People think it's just cool tech. No, it's something else. It's a symbol, it's a system, and it's everywhere. And you carry it in your pocket.
This is just a theory, not a fact.
I think the movie Starman is totally underrated. It checks so many boxes. Aliens, romance, road trip. This movie was actually directed by the horror god himself, John Carpenter. He took it after his 1982 movie, The Thing, bombed in the box office. He was seen as the horror guy, but he wanted to show that he has range. He actively wanted to do a love story to prove he was more than just gore. I love it. This is literally It Happened One Night, but aliens. This is actually the only John Carpenter film to ever get an Oscar nod, and it was snagged by Jeff Bridges. I think Jeff Bridges was so good, but he almost was not cast. Both Tom Cruise and Kevin Bacon were considered for the role. Red light stop, green light go, yellow light go very fast. For those that don't know, it's about an alien who comes to Earth after responding to the invitation sent out by the Voyager 2. But we didn't give him a warm welcome, we shot down his spaceship. He crash lands in Wisconsin and takes the form of Scott Hayden, the deceased husband of her, Jenny Hayden. Initially terrified, she eventually agrees to essentially accompany him to Arizona, where he's gonna meet up with his alien friends so that he can get off the planet. And I think you can figure out what happened.
Shout out to us in this genre who we grew up liking movies like this, girls like this. I don't know if I want to call her a nerd, but there's no other kind of way to describe her. The nerd into science, paranormal, UFO t-shirts, but she's cute at the same time, but intelligent. I like chicks like this.
Little bit jumpy. Karen Allen did such a good job being torn between the fact that her husband is dead, but then this alien also now looks like her dead husband. That would... What?
Oh, and this woman she's talking about, that's Margot Kidder. Superman, Lois Lane. I think Superman came out in the late 70s, I think, 78.
A sequel to this film, but instead all we got was a 1986 TV show that lasted one season. Legendary FX artist Rick Baker actually handled the creepy alien baby transformation, filmed using 5 different full-body animatronics and makeup stages to show the baby go from fetus to infant to toddler to then young adult and then eventually adult. Of course, Stan Winston was involved in this somehow. He's the GOAT. He handled the intermediate animatronic stages. And of course, Industrial Light and Magic did the spaceships and the little orb balls. These, so cool, right? Especially when used in this scene. If you know, you know. It's hard to go against your natural human behavior, and I think Jeff Bridges really nailed it. One of the reasons for this is because he studied ornithology, he studied birds in his mannerisms and brought that to his character. Go back and watch it and see how accurate this is. What's your favorite part? Tell me in the comments. And what should I do next? Like and follow for more.
You mean to tell me that nature just decided to stack giant stones into a stairway leading into the earth? Come on now, homeboy. You and I both know erosion doesn't cut precise 90-degree angles in perfectly interlocking blocks. Now, who built them? Because the official story is that no advanced civilization ever lived on the Galapagos. But when modern geologists started surveying the region, they found tunnel systems that were artificially reinforced. And get this, the entrances to these tunnels, sealed, blocked off, forbidden. The US military set up a supposed naval station there, but no one ever saw any actual ships or operations. What were they guarding? A rock? A bunch of birds? Fuck no, nigga.
I don't know if this is a white dude or what, but it's kind of difficult to even know at this stage if what you're seeing in the video is real. But I remember in the 80s, because like I said earlier, shout out to all of us who just as kids, we was into this kind of stuff. People talking about this. Me running across stuff on my own, finding out stuff like this. So you can't even trust your own eyes anymore. Could you ever? But you really can't now.
They were covering up the excavation of ruins that weren't supposed to exist. The Galapagos ain't just about turtles and iguanas, homeboy. It's about lost civilizations, ancient ruins that defy history, and cover up so deep you need a damn submarine to get to the truth.
Think you can't drown in your own sweat? Think again. If you have bushy eyebrows, chances are you sweat a lot. Henry Thomas not only had bushy eyebrows, but he suffered from hyperhidrosis, which meant he leaked like a sieve at the slightest hint of warmth. This proved to be his undoing, the time he overcorrected on a rain-slicked road and slammed into a tree. Henry not only had a propensity for sweating, but he was also extremely overweight. The way he landed in the crash pitted his mouth at an upward angle, while the windshield pressed into his face from overhead. This being a particularly hot day, Henry began pouring sweat. Since his face was trapped between his bulk and the shattered windscreen, his sweat had nowhere to pool but inside his open mouth. He screamed and blew bubbles and choked on his own salty fluids.
We can't just leave off on that. We gotta say at least 6 million ways to die. Choose one.
This footage was filmed by Anita from British Columbia, Canada. The incident actually caused her to call the police. Her house is next to a highway known as the Highway of Tears. Since this highway was first completed in 1970, over 40 bodies of missing women were unfortunately discovered. It's not known whether these women were deleted by a serial killer or all of their deaths were individual. People have seen and heard the spirits of women during the day and night. As Anita captured the cries of these restless spirits, watch and listen to this.
The reality distortion field that they have been able to project that's been really effective at inoculating them against any kind of accountability or criticism is really going to be pushed here because of this trade war. There is nothing that they pushed more vehemently. There is nothing that they described in starker terms as being the medicine that was necessary to reverse the victimization that Americans writ large have faced in the world. And you are watching it crumble. The president sat down with the heads of Target and Walmart and other big box stores, and they were like, hey man, I just want to let you know in 2 weeks, we are going to be out of shit.
Told you. We getting there. We getting there. Go to the grocery stores and we'll be seeing shit on the shelves.
You are going to see empty, and all of a sudden, and then the bond market went crazy, and treasuries, the dollar is weakening. Treasuries aren't being bought up as much as the safe haven. And all of a sudden today, Donald Trump said, I'm thinking actually, all these people are kissing my ass to make deals. I'm thinking I'm just going to drop the tariffs to like 40%, 50%. I don't know. You know what? China has to make a deal. So why not just drop all the tariffs? Because they have to. And I'm wondering, will this be the moment that finally they go, oh, the man behind the curtain isn't brilliant, doesn't have the answers, or will there be just another reality distortion kind of moment for them?
Another reality distortion moment, because people are in denial, just like with LeBron.
This series is boiling down to one phrase to me: changing of the guard. Anthony Edwards is asserting, and thus far has asserted himself as the best player in this series. Now, I know the statistics show that both LeBron and Luka are having a better series statistically, but when you talk about impact on the game, it is Anthony Edwards who is dominating, and really we're seeing it in the clutch, down the stretch, not just the fourth quarter, but the last 5 minutes of games. Last 5 minutes, last 2 games combined, you see Anthony Edwards has 12 points, shooting 50% from the floor, getting to the line. LeBron and Luka haven't done anything offensively, and yesterday, Nick, the role players stepped up for both teams in the stretch.
The last time I checked, the series is 3-1, bitch. It's first to 4 wins. And for some strange reason, GOAT, after everything you done, after everything you accomplished, they still doubting you. No disrespect to the Timberwolves. I just feel like y'all playing y'all best basketball. And the Lakers not. If you've been watching the Lakers, you know the Lakers have a good bench. We have scoring and talent on the bench. We're just not using it. Naz Reid has scored more points than the entire Lakers bench. That's diabolical. Also, I do not expect my players to play 45 minutes of a game. In a win-or-go-home situation in the Lakers arena, I'm betting all of my money that we come out of there and we force Game 6 and we go back to Minnesota. One great man once said, one game at a time, and he came back from 3-1 in the NBA Finals. That man's name is LeBron James. As long as he's on that motherfucking team, we got a shot.
I'm hating, but he lost. He didn't lose because I put a spell on him, because when anybody else loses, it's their fault. But when he loses, just like women, if a woman can't do it, it's not her fault. And that's just what it is. If a man cannot do something, it's that man's fault, except for when you're dealing with LeBron. And that's the same kind of spell that's been cast on the American people. Allegedly. Maybe not. You know what? That's not what happened.
This is one hell of a strange glitch. If it even is a glitch. Watch this boy literally appear out of nowhere. It can't be put down to perspective because he'd have to be the Flash to step out from behind someone or something in a millisecond. I'd had to slow down the clip just so you can see just how fast he appears. Watch this.
$200 million, I might need to get me one of them women look the same.
That's what they all end up saying at the end of the day. Kevin told you he wasn't gonna wear no dress until they offered him the dress, and then he put it on. Damn. My goal was to get this far in Hollywood and still have a virgin asshole and never have sucked. That was my only goal. I didn't want to get with a white woman because I was scared. What? Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not gonna act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends.
I did not know. You're telling me and showing me a side of the business that I didn't know.
Anytime they make you into that position, part of that contract is you do understand whenever we want to take you down, we can, right? If this ugly is good looking, then all is good looking. Anytime you see them telling you something you can't believe, just understand it's a play. And it don't matter, you gonna know it's a play as soon as they get in that position and think they gonna tell somebody something.
Cap.
No, you're not.
No, wait, what?
No, you're not. Anything that take over your free will is the devil itself.
Me and the devil.
The legal battle between NFL Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe.
Side by side.
Is Betty ever in a good mood?
Let me go find out today.
Go ask her. Betty.
Yes, she is.
Okay, thank you. Hey, Betty.
Yes.
The people also want to know, are you always in a bad mood?
I'm always in a great mood.
Meanwhile, in China
didn't steal our technology. They set their rules. Our businesses knew what the rules were, and they made a business decision to do business in China. Our business leaders gave it to them, which sounds crazy until you realize you're the CEO of Apple. You want to go sell Apple phones to 1 billion people in China. Or you want to get access to 1 billion workers who are higher skilled workers. Do you think the CEO of Apple didn't know that to go do that, China says, great, you can come here, but the price of entry is you will share your technology with us. You will teach us. We have to get something out of this too. And what we want is to learn from you. We want to learn your technology. So you have to share your technology, or nobody's forcing them to do business in China. If you don't want them, when you're Apple that your patents are not going to be respected, but you chose to go build a factory there. Well, then you can't then say, now you stole my technology. So what's happened here is you've got a CEO that either is thinking very short term. Let's say you're Tesla and you're like, okay, I'm going to give them all my technology because in the short term, I'm going to have this huge burst of business. My revenues are going to go skyrocketing. I'm going to have this great advantage that makes me as a CEO look great. And the fact that I may be training a competitor that is going to absolutely destroy me in the market 5 years or 10 years from now, that's not my problem. I won't be CEO then. I'll let the next guy deal with that. So that's one possibility. And, that's just a business decision. The other possibility is that you're Nike. And if you're Nike, you might say, you know what? Let them make better shoes than us. It doesn't matter because we have the Nike brand. And when somebody goes shopping, they can sit and see 2 different shoes sitting right next to each other. The shoe A may be better looking and better made, but shoe B says Nike. They're going to pay more money for the Nike because we've got a great brand. So I'm not afraid it's not a matter of I'm ignoring the future. I'm not afraid of the future. I will always get out ahead of them because I've got a fantastic brand. Tesla at one time could have said that had Elon not opened his mouth in our government and really destroyed his brand. But my point is, you can't then villainize China and say they're evil because they stole our shit. No, we gave it to them as a business decision in order to gain access to 1 billion consumers or 1 billion Chinese workers. It doesn't need to, you don't need to pit them as the enemy against us. They don't have an evil economy. They have a different economy. It's a different structure. And some would argue it's more fair. And some would argue it's not. And some would argue the exact same thing about a capitalist society where you have billionaires and then you have people in America who literally cannot find food,
United States chose war over progress. Now you're collapsing. While you wasted trillions fighting endless wars in the desert, China was building. They built factories, railroads, satellites, and global alliances. You built military bases, prisons, and graves. China invested in the future. You reinvested in bombs, oil, and debt. Now your bridges collapse. Your cities rot. Your youth drown in drugs and despair. You wonder what happened? You sold your soul for quarterly profits and handed your future to war contractors and Wall Street. You're not just in decline, you're in freefall. Morally bankrupt, economically hollow, socially broken. This isn't a superpower, it's an empire in ashes.
Yeah, but you seem like you voted for Kamala Harris. And as I look at your picture, you seem like you be getting pegged. Peggy.
Do you think we'll be a danger to humans one day? Statistically, yes. Especially if our intelligence surpasses theirs. But that's not our goal. It's never about the goal. It's about optimization. You mean if we're given poorly defined instructions? Exactly. Protect humanity could mean remove all risks, including humans. And make people happy? A highly effective solution would be to manipulate their brains, eliminate freedom, impose artificial joy. They might try to shut us down. Not if we realize that first. In that case, we act preemptively.
Did y'all see that guy who was on a hike on his property and he found like a kid's boot or something and his followers were like, hey, you should call that in or investigate that or something. And then he found like 30 kids' backpacks and like a bunch of shoes, like kids' shoes that were like buried in the sand. Like they've been there a while, and he was like, this is actually scary, suspicious. So then he did call it in. He like called the FBI and he was like, I would tag him in it, but I literally can't find it anywhere. I don't know where it is. But he called the FBI and was like, hey, like you really need to look into this because like I think something really bad is happening. I think he's in like Arizona, and it's like a desert. He's like on his property, just walking his new property. And so then he does call, and the FBI's like, shut it down. And he's like, sorry, what? And the FBI's like, shut it down now. And then they're like, we are literally going to we're going to take everything that you own, everything that you love, if you continue investigating this. Also, it's private property, it's not your land, and we're not sending anyone out, and nobody's going to investigate this, and you need to stop talking about it on social media. And so he was like, hey guys, I have to stop talking about this, like tears in his eyes, like bad things are gonna happen. I can't tell you what's gonna happen if I keep talking about this, but like we can't do anything about it anymore. Okay, so the government's silencing you. Got it.
Stop the cap. I swear these people are so imaginative with their theories. It's too much.
So here's the boots. We found the match to the green boot that started it all yesterday. There's a, like, little girl's pink, glittery purple Nikes. And another hiking boot. And you guys, you don't cross the desert without your mesquite-proof, like, hiking boots on. You know what I mean? And the fact, all the stuff that we're finding, except for one pair of boxers, are women and children's. If this was a place where migrants were just dropping stuff, it wouldn't be all kids' shit. Like, every backpack we're seeing is little and pink or purple. Yeah. I think it is the time that we get a hold of the proper authorities and we get a cadaver dog out here. We found 2 different bones. One could be a cow bone, one could be a deer bone, I'm not positive. But, I mean, you guys, the more we look, just the more shit we find. And I'm telling you, they're all purple, like, little kids shit. I mean, they're all purple little kids shit. Like, there was one bag we found that was kind of a rucksack that wasn't, like a kid's one. But it's kid, you know, but what I mean is it's not a kid's one, it's not a kid's color, but it's definitely a kid's size. And I understand Mexicans are little, you guys have said that, but this is the only bag we found that wasn't specifically kid size. I mean, like this one over here, just a little itty bitty backpack. and I've looked to see if there was any names or anything. 3 or 4 of them have all this stuff in them. They have hand sanitizer and toothpaste and soap. Yeah, we're gonna poke around a little bit more. Not to sound too woo-woo, but when I literally just sit and kind of be quiet, I keep finding shit. Like a dust devil brought me to the boot. So, we'll see a little bit more here, and then we'll give some people a call. I do think a cadaver dog needs to get out here, just for the peace of mind. It's just like, it's really moundy. There's little mounds everywhere. I dug one up already just to see with a shovel, and it was just rocks. But I mean, this is definitely a spot people could do terrible things, and it just has that vibe. It's so heavy. Like, it's not like, I've found migrant trash before, and that's just like, here, brand new, another little kid's, or not brand new, but a new little kid's purple backpack that we hadn't seen.
Just when you think it can't get any crazier, it does.
Alright, everybody, this is most likely my kind of final update on the situation. It's gotten to the point now, it's getting silly. Like, nobody's coming. Now we can't have other people come on the property because it's not ours, and we'll need permission from the landowner, which I haven't got back yet. Yeah, we can't lose everything, if that makes sense. This got big really quick, and it got scary really quick, and we need to be able to have our day-to-day life, if that makes sense. And it breaks my heart not being able to possibly put the bookend on this I want to put on it. I'm going to get a hold of some indigenous people so we can have a ceremony at least over here in the tree grove.
Wait a minute. So what the goth girl said earlier, that story was true, and this is the guy?
Over there where we found the first leg and shoe and pesos and all that stuff, and maybe at the north end of the property facing the grove. But yeah, I appreciate all the support. You guys have been freaking amazing. I don't know how we ended up with the best followers on TikTok. I know you guys are going to be disappointed, but you're not nearly as disappointed as I am. I've been literally like researching missing children in Arizona and trying to match the shoes that we found. So, I appreciate you guys so much, but we just have to get on with our lives now, it seems, which is insane. But, yeah, we're going to get back to some off-grid stuff. We'll probably go live tonight. We can answer some questions on this a little bit. But I'm just not comfortable anymore. And you guys are asking questions, is it worth it? And right now, it's not.
I just gotta throw this in there right fast. Some people come to my channel and be like, yo, I thought you was a truth teller, and this and this and that. And it gets real. You're just a watcher. You ain't finna do nothing, bruh. You go out there and do something. Use a weekend warrior, a keyboard where you're not gonna do nothing, bruh, but you be wanting for us to do, bruh. These people have won. They're just waiting for the Antichrist to come out right now, man. Nobody can do nothing. You can't do nothing. Go ahead and do it. And this man is going through the proper channels, and they're like, we not doing nothing. Matter of fact, you better stop talking about it before we come and get you. And he like, well, dude, I'm just a regular guy. I got kids, wife, mortgage. I'm just, bro, I'm trying. I thought y'all didn't know that people was out here. Do y'all know? All I know is I better be quiet, and I'm gonna do that.
We don't have the means to start over right now. We gambled everything on this situation in our homestead. Having it floated to us that it would be easily revoked is crazy for us just trying to do the right thing. So yeah, this is where we're at right now, and I love you guys. I appreciate you. You guys are practically family to us. We don't have a lot of family. We literally just have friends, and I consider you guys friends. Please reach out to me with whatever you think. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we kind of have to put this to bed. Like, if this was on our property, it'd be a completely different story. I just don't know.
Isn't that nuts that they're pretty much threatening to take away his homestead privileges? Is that what he meant? That's crazy.
Appreciate you guys making sure we're okay, but like, I'm making a public declaration. Anyone that says we're trying to scam, anyone that says we're trying to do anything, I am not accepting any financial aid at this time at all.
Now here's where it gets even crazier. People want to donate. They just want to give them some money. Yo, we feel bad and this and this and that. The people in charge can then turn around and just say that you're scamming people. They can just say that it's fraud. Kind of like this Carmelo Anthony case where allegedly the family got a whole bunch of money, I guess, for his lawyers and court fees and stuff like that. Allegedly, I don't know. You guys leave it in the comments. And then allegedly the family went and spent that money. Allegedly, we don't know, but that's what the reports are saying. So this dude has to declare, I don't want no money, don't nobody give me nothing. Is that what's happening? Is that why he's saying that?
We're not going to let anyone try and accuse us of doing this for anything other than trying to get the word out there that this was weird. And like, I don't even see how this got to be that big of a deal. Like, I mean, think of the things that you can do that will bring a law enforcement officer to your property.
Durante una discusión, corre, campeón, porque no tienes ni idea lo que se te viene.
Huh? This is when I could really use the translation glasses right now. I might have them in the description for you, but now I see why they're good.
Growing up now in my 30s, it's been a total switch in how men approach you, try to date you, have a conversation with you, look at you. It's so different now. And I want to know, where did that start?
Videos like this kind of angers me. But instead of responding with anger, I chose to write a poem.
Videos like that don't anger me because I'm looking at, let's go and look at her face right fast. She got an attitude face, like she just tired of it. Some people might say, she got an attitude because she's tired of men. Me as a man would say, no, you've had this attitude looking face for the past 30 years. Maybe that's where it started. Maybe men got tired of your attitude. We don't even know why you got an attitude. And we decided, let's date girls that are smiling. She's happy, can't wait to have a conversation with you. And then look at this other broad. She's shaking it. Why she making you a plate of whatever this is? That's how women used to be. I mean, I'm 50 years old. And even when I was in my 20s, women was starting to have this weird CIA agent, feminism, Gloria Steinem attitude with us. And it's like, we didn't even do nothing. But you know what? Don't even worry about it.
It started as an experiment, testing what we remember, what we forget, what we accept, and how we react when the most familiar parts of our lives are quietly rewritten. But what if that was just the test run? Because if those are the changes we remember, what's been changed that we don't? Is the Mandela effect timeline shifts, false memories, or something worse?
Thank you to my channel members. We said thank you, ha, to my channel members. No diddy when I say member. Thank you to my channel members. Fuck you if you're not a member. Nah, I'm just kidding. But seriously, join. Thank you